to my Soul and I devotion tonight. It's a wonderful night, and I hope that all of us are going to be blessed. All of us. I want to see everyone blessed today. And as usual, we will begin with some prayers. I want to sprinkle a little bit of energy upon your life. So, we're going to pray a little bit, take 5 minutes. It's important to pray. And especially when I'm involved, because everywhere I go, demons and principalities, they want to obstruct what I want to do. So when we pray, we discharge principalities, powers, forces of darkness that will want to maybe obstruct what we're about to do. And also, the reason why I want to pray is because I believe through me I can be a channel for energy that you can tap into. I believe I have the ability to connect energy through me, and you can tap into that. So, I'd like you to take comfortable position. I don't want to teach you how to meditate. Just maybe you would like to close your eyes or would like to look at me. Just imagine that whatever thing you desire upon your life, anything good, anything that is in conformity with the universal creator's will, not evil. Anything good about your life, anything you want about your life, to achieve about your life that is good, or about somebody, just focus on that as I pray. I will stand in a cross-like position, and I will stretch, and I will concentrate. And I want to tell you something. You are blessed listening to me. And I'm blessed too, because I know God gives me an opportunity to talk to somebody. I'm also blessed that I have an opportunity to pray for somebody. Many of us don't pray, talk less of pray for others. So it's a privilege for me to lift my hands in the air to pray for you and to pray for my own life. Let us pray. You're blessed. It's a wonderful day here in California. And I love it being here. I love it very much. If you've never been to California, it's one of the most beautiful places you want to visit, you know. It's brightness of the sun, bright people. It's not like in some parts of United States where people don't greet each other. Here you will find people greeting you and saluting you, and nice people here. You know, and I can see the reason why stuff like this will always begin in places like California. I don't doubt it. The minds of the people attract incredible opportunities too. To realize that most great things in United States or even around the world always begin around here. And this is one of them. You know, I wish that those of us who are alive today will understand the importance of what I'm doing here. It's only when we have passed away and maybe a couple of hundreds of years or thousands of years will pass that people begin to look back into what we are trying to accomplish. I grew up in a society where one could taste peace, where there was peace, where there was no fear of going out in the night and coming back, and there were no lights. There was not electricity, but we were not afraid to go around and play in the moon, walk freely down the streets, have fun in our neighborhoods without restriction, walk into any home and eat food and rush out, and it was beautiful. I feel very sad that I can't let my child walk into my neighbor's house and I stay at home and feel at peace and relax and believe that everything will be okay. The other day when I was driving with my son and my two daughters, I was sharing with them what my father used to do when I was a kid. Said my father, because I showed them a video of a woman that I rescued just down here, just close to our studio here. The woman was about to kill herself. It's a documentary series that I'm working on. So my kids were watching it, and I was showing them how I rescued this old 65-year-old lady, put her in a motel, and took care of her for a couple of weeks, even though I myself, I was living in the streets. So I was narrating the story of my father and how my father took people off the streets and gave them places to live. Because he was privileged, he had land and had houses. And so he could go out and look for poor people and pick them up, give them land, and tell them to make use of themselves, ask them to learn a trade, build a house on that land. And most of those people became some of the richest people in the town where I come from. I was sharing this story with my son, and my son turned and asked me when we were driving back home. He said, "Daddy," I said, "Yes." He said, "You help people. Is it because your daddy helped people?" I said, "Yes, of course. It's a tradition. And I want you to do the same. I want you not to neglect any human being, animal, bird, and plant. If you see them, if they need help, Give it to them. Because that's tradition. That's culture. That's human nature. That's compassion. That's what makes a human human. My son, he is a deep thinker. I was looking through my driving mirror. I saw him just sitting there and thinking. I raised him so I know him. I know what was rushing in and out of his brains. And that's what my father taught me. I told my son, I said, look, my father died when I was young. But I had a good life, even though I had enemies around me trying to kill me. But one thing is, the people that my father helped, they helped me have my life. I said, you, my son, you are alive today because those people, the people my father helped, the people my father gave an opportunity to have life for no, just because he realized they did not have. They were now in a position to pay back what my father did when I was desperate. And then I told my son, here in Ukiah, I do good because of all of you, my kids. Because I know if you grow up and you end up having a problem in this community, you will meet 1, 2, at least 3 people who will remember me and will support and do good for you. That escapes from our minds. This, if we have children, this escapes our mind that this is one of the motivating factors. This is one of the motivating things that should even make us to want to do good. If you don't want to do good for any reason, and if you have kids and you have family, one thing that could motivate you to do good is to think of what may happen tomorrow. And your family member or your child, or your husband or your wife is in problems, and somebody might meet them and think of the good you did and will save their lives. That should motivate you at least to think of doing good, isn't it? Brethren, I know there is theory. I know there is jargon. I know there is this style of speaking and rousing people and trying to make our point through excitement. This is not time for that. This is time for reasonable talking, thinking, asking yourself pertinent questions about your behavior and character, how we do things, how we process stuff, and how that processes and the way we do things, how it works for us, our families, our children, our communities, our country, especially where we put our head, and then our world. Brethren, it is something that we have to think all the time if we want to save ourselves and save our world. Goodness, compassion. It doesn't matter who that person is whom you want to extend that. It really doesn't matter. You are channeling positive energy into the universe when you do good. Don't do it for that person. Do it for the universe, brethren. That's what will sustain this life all of us have. when goodness flourishes? Won't you be happy to realize that goodness is spreading around the world and changing and making the world a beautiful, flourishing place, and you realize you are part and participant, the projector, one of that motivating factor of that goodness? Wouldn't you feel good about yourself for doing so? And why wouldn't you do that, brethren? Why would you not do it? Why will you choose evil, anger, wickedness, corrupt attitude, jealousy, envy, something that will promote hate towards you? Why will you embark on such a fruitless journey in your life that will destroy you and then destroy everything else? Why will you choose to act in a way that will make something or someone to hate you? Why? When you take away the child of a person, it creates hate. Even if you do it in the name of an institution, it creates hate to the institution and you too. When you go cheat someone, it creates hate. When you lie against someone, it creates hate. Why will you choose to create something that hates you? If something is not wrong with the way we process things, we can't do that. We can't embark on this journey of the production of what will hate us. And when we know that hate equals hurt, I don't understand that. I really don't. I don't know how we humans have decided to choose what is negative from choosing what is positive. Why? What reason will you give for choosing negative over positivity? What reason will you give for choosing jealousy over joy for someone's success? Why will you choose jealousy over joy? Why? What makes you to do that? It's crazy. It beats my imagination, brethren. Why will you choose to destroy life instead of protecting the life? Harm life, hurt children, hurt black people, hurt white people, hurt Arabs. What for? What makes an intelligent person make such a choice and think that it's an intelligent choice? I don't see how intelligent it is for I and I to choose to do evil when I know perfectly well that that evil I do is to hurt my own self. Every time you conduct an act of evil, it works in the cells of your body. Straight up. Straight up. Every time you perform an act of hate, it begins from you. It begins to deteriorate the cells of your body before anything else. It begins within before it begins to spread around you, even going towards the person that you are projecting the hate. You don't get it, don't you? You don't get it. You don't understand that. And that's why you hate. Because you have no understanding of who you are, of how your energy works, how you function. I don't know if you know the story of the pharaohs of Egypt. I know most of us are fascinated with Egypt, with the pyramids, with the pharaohs, with the queens, with all those that created incredible life that we're studying today. Something that is just like an enigma, something that's like a mystery. There is one pharaoh that I want to talk about tonight. It was Ramses II. Ramses was a young man when he was made a pharaoh. His daddy was a pharaoh who loved him very much. And when Ramses was growing up, his daddy trained him to become the next pharaoh and so also trained him to become a soldier. And he grew up to have so many wives, many children. And he inherited the throne very early and ruled for 67 years. So it means almost his entire life. By the time he died at the age of, in the 80s, he had ruled 67 of his years. You can imagine. Most of the greatest monuments you will find in Egypt were built by Ramses II. So he was a great pharaoh. So many wives, so many children. And he was proud of his accomplishments. And every structure you will find were giant images of Ramses. He lifted Egypt to a status of respect. He was a living God. And he achieved all of that. And grew older and older and older. He conquered territories and killed people. When you came across Ramses II in a war, you would die. He would kill, conquer the territory, take it, destroy souls, and gain power and authority. But look at it this way. Even with the might and everything, when he began to grow old, the toll of everything that he did, all the wicked things he did to maintain power and authority, all of that began to take a toll on him. It seems as if the last days of his life were very miserable. They were just opposite of what he had when he was dominating, conquering, building, ruling, and destroying lives and building monuments. The point I'm trying to make is this, brethren. The choices we make in life will determine how our end is. And the choices we make in life will determine how much that will influence people around us and things around us, and how long they will last and how they will serve them. I don't want to leave behind traces of blood, wickedness, anger, hate. I want to leave traces of so many children. Don't get me wrong. I'm not kidding. Love, peace, joy, harmony, understanding, abundant life, purity, grace, good health. Let people enjoy that for a long time. Those are the type of traces I want to leave behind, no matter how much price I will pay. Because that is being a vessel unto honor. But when you come on earth and decide to be wicked, to be evil, to exploit others for self-satisfaction and don't care whether the people are feeling good or bad, it's a mental problem, it's a major problem, it's a spiritual problem, it's a problem that will last for a couple of decades when you are gone and it's over. Or you keep traces of wickedness and hate and anger and cries and wailing all over the place as you walk towards your next destination, which is retrogression. Brethren, we live moments that are very complicated, very, very complex. We hear different messages and different doctrines and different things here and there. We don't know which one is right, which one is wrong. The Christian is there trying to bombard you with his idea of Jesus coming to save everyone. The Muslim is there telling you about his jihad issue and how he is like taking over the whole world. The Buddhist is there meditating very seriously. The Jehovah's Witness is there looking at all the buildings, how, and all the other faiths too. Then you turn into the occult societies. Everyone is doing his thing, struggling to grab as many members as they can down the pit of hell, trying to deceive as many as they can. Then the strong men and women are there, trying to take advantage of the situation. Everyone is doing one confusing thing of another. And the whole world is mixed up with chaos. We are all confused. We don't know our left from our right. All the information is there. But we don't know how to separate the chaff from the corn. It's a major problem.
Ashime.
Happiness is not purchasable with money. I know that we ought to be happier than the happiest person on earth today. We ought to be healthier than the healthiest person on earth today. And yet, we ought to be smarter than the smartest person on earth today. The gift of happiness is not purchasable with money. The path is through meditation, in which you can achieve freedom and get release from the burden of material pursuit. Practical self-healing from sickness, poverty, negative vibration and suffering. My mission in this life is to confront evil. My job is to point a pervading light. We believe in one misconception and another.
Ashime.
The needs and wants of man are steadily increasing by day. The scourge of daily unrest, the more he has the more he wants. We are not born into this world to accumulate material wealth. What a waste of precious time and effort. There are better ways to do this, brethren. Practical self-healing from sickness, poverty, negative vibration and suffering is the purpose of this call. Learn how to unlock negative childhood beliefs and curses holding you back from finding joy while living your dreams and visions. Enter into your own consciousness.
Meditation saved my life. Ashin, breaking the horse, gave me strength and made my bone strong. Ashin is one of the most effective ways to keep your heart strong. Find peace, love, joy, happiness, abundant life, stability, and everything you ever desire in life. My soul and I has prepared a special package for you.